oh, you suck. And if you just have a kettlebell that's not really challenging you and you've got nothing heavier, that's a great way to make it just a little bit more difficult. Whew, that is powerful. What's going on, guys? Pat Damiano here, and we are back in the lab, AKA the garage, for a nice full body workout. It is a beautiful Sunday morning here, and Sundays tend to turn into what I call garage mashup days, where I just do a little bit of everything and kind of whatever comes to my mind. So I just throw it up on the whiteboard if it sounds good, and that's what we go for today. For the most part, I tend to follow a fairly structured plan. I'm not like 100% on a program where I'm very, very consistent with it, but I do follow a pretty decently structured blueprint for most of my workouts. So each week I'm getting in what I think I need to be getting in, my presses, rows, squats, lunges, swings, clean snatches, and things along those lines. So I am following that blueprint because I do want to see progress in those areas, but at the end of the day, I like to have my days like this where we're just kind of doing what almost like a random workout. You know, they're definitely not the best for seeing progress, and you shouldn't be doing random workouts all the time if you're really trying to make progress in one area. But if you're someone who just feels like moving, then and being in decent shape, I don't really think there's anything wrong with random workouts. I love them. They are fun. They keep things interesting. And they just allow me to switch it up and throw a bunch of random stuff together. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm excited for it. We got a pretty good one. And before we get started, though, let's go to the whiteboard and talk about it. If you want to gain functional strength, conditioning, and mobility using simple to follow and time-efficient workouts, then go ahead and click the link in my description and get 75% off your first 4 weeks of training. 40 minutes a day, 4 times a week is all you need, and the best part is you can do them at home. All right, so here's what we got on the menu for today. Like I said, I call these days garage mashup days. There's not that much structure to them. It's kind of just whatever exercises I feel like doing, I throw up on the board. Maybe I haven't done them throughout the week and I feel like I should get them in. But for the most part, it is a fairly random workout of just stuff I kind of feel like doing today. Again, like I was saying before, these are not the best for progress, right? They can be great workouts, they can be fun, but when it comes to progressing and maybe gaining muscle, gaining strength, you should be fairly consistent with at least 50% of your workouts or 50% of your programming. You should have consistency in there with the types of exercises and movement patterns that you're doing. Now, at the end of the day, though, consistency is the most important part, and sometimes workouts like this can just help break up the monotony. And at the end of the day, consistency is the most important part when it comes to seeing progress. So, you know, days like today aren't the best for progress, but they might be really good for longevity and consistency. So both go hand in hand very well. So at the end of the day, it's always nice to kind of just switch things up and do some random stuff, especially on a nice Sunday morning. All right, so here's what we got. We are starting off with 1 Turkish getup on each side. I don't do Turkish getups that often. I'm going to talk about them a little bit later, but just kind of feel like it today. It's been a little while, and I'm going to kind of use this just as an extended warm-up. So I'm just doing 3 sets of 1 on each side. Going to kind of test myself there a little bit and see where I'm at since it has been a little bit. Those are getting done on their own, probably a minute or so of rest in between each set. We're then going into kind of our major work for today. So we're going to go 15 swings, just regular 2-handed kettlebell swings, a max set of push-ups, into 10 club 360s on each side. And then I just kind of felt like throwing in, I was going to stop there, but I felt like last minute throwing in some heavy single arm rows. We're going to do 5 of those on each side. And it's going to go anywhere from 4 to 5 sets. Like I said, today's just a little bit of a mashup, so I tend to play a lot of it by ear. And then I have, as a finisher, a potential sandbag mess around. I have a 275-pound sandbag here in the garage that has barely been used, and I have not touched it in quite some time. I might feel like messing around with it today, just kind of trying to pick it up and see where I'm at with it, because it's been a little while. I haven't really been using sandbags that much as of late, so just kind of feel like seeing where we're at with that potentially. We're going to see how I feel when I get there, and how things are doing, how we're doing on time, okay, because we are a little crunched for time today, but this is what the workout's looking like. This is completely subject to change, so we'll see what happens when I get into it. Like I said, these days are fun and open for a little bit of switch up. So let's get warmed up and let's get after it. All right, so we've done 1 set of the Turkish getup. We are on to our second one now, and I kind of wanted to talk about it just because I know there's a lot of moving pieces with this exercise. So I kind of want to break it down, let you know what I'm thinking about when I go through it, and kind of, you know, how I take people through it when I teach it. So Turkish getup, let's talk about it. So we're going to start with our right hand up, which means our right side or our right leg is the one that's going to be bent. From here, my left leg is out to, or my left arm is out to the side. I'm going to roll up onto that elbow, take a second, then come up to my hand. From here, I'm gonna press my right and left foot into the ground to shoot my hips up. Take this left leg, slide it back. Okay, from here, I got 3 points of contact. I should be comfortable. Right foot, left knee, left hand. Come up. All right, right here in this half kneeling position, then I stand up from this lunge. Then basically what I do is just reverse it. So I'm gonna take my left leg, kick it back. Key point here, take this left leg and you're going to windshield wiper it in. Then I'm gonna take my left hand and slide it down my left leg so I can find the floor comfortably. Shoot my left leg through, sit down to the elbow, and we roll back. And that's it. And then we get into our other side, all right? So let's do it. Again, left hand is up, left leg is the one that's bent. I'm rolling over to my right elbow. Arm extends, hips up, bring the leg back, come up to the half kneeling position, stand out of the lunge, step back, windshield wiper, find the floor, kick the leg through, down, and so on. And that's our Turkish get-up. All right, fourth and final set. We are at 88 pounds, 40 kilos for my non-Americans. I did decide to throw in another one just because I think it went a little too late in my earlier sets. So Turkish get-ups are something I don't do that often. I do think they are a good exercise, but I don't think they're like the greatest exercise ever created, like a lot of kettlebell people do. But I also don't think they're completely worthless like some other kettlebell people do. I'm kind of in the middle of them. I think they are a good test. I think they are definitely something that is going to expose some unilateral imbalances. So I think they can be beneficial in that way. I just think there are other things I like to put time into. Again, it's not that I don't think they're good. I just like other exercises better. And I think there are exercises that are a little bit more beneficial, at least for what I'm looking for, which is just overall strength and maybe gaining a little bit of muscle. And I think I can get the benefits of Turkish get-ups from, or a decent amount of the benefits of Turkish get-ups from other exercises right now. That's just kind of where I'm at. But yeah, again, good exercise, especially if you're new to kettlebells. They are a great way to kind of get accustomed to them and just get using them and get moving in different ways that you normally wouldn't, because you know there's obviously just so much going on with it. All right, and like I said, I do think they're a good test to kind of just see where you're at. How heavy can you go with one on each side? And yeah, last one. Let's do it. They will also teach you to slow the fuck down in an exercise. All right, I'm thinking about constantly punching this kettlebell towards the ceiling. I'm constantly looking up or at the kettlebell. If I look down or forward, this thing's going to drop. So stay looking up and at that kettlebell. Oof. Whew. All right, that was a nice little challenge. Get warmed up, get the juices pumping. We are on to our swings, push-ups, club, and single arm rows. Let's have some fun. All right, so we are into our first set. Again, we are starting with 15 swings. So this gets treated as a bit of a circuit or a big superset. So we're gonna go through the first one together. 15 swings, we'll take 20 to 30 seconds right into push-ups, into the club, into the rows. Probably rest for about 1.5 minutes after the last set of rows, maybe a minute. I kind of feel like moving a little quicker today. And we'll go from there, right? 15 swings. I don't have anything super heavy here to challenge my for 15, so we're gonna be focusing on staying very snappy and very aggressive with every single one of them. And I'm gonna talk in a little bit about how to do that and make a lighter kettlebell a little bit more efficient if you don't have something that's really gonna challenge you. So stay tuned for that one, all right? 15, here we go. That was 88 pounds, 40 kilos for my non-Americans. So now we're going right into our push-ups. So when I do, you notice I did max push-ups. When I do body weight exercises, a lot of times when I program for people and stuff, really pull-ups and push-ups, I put in max, right? Do as many as you can. One, when you're programming for hundreds of people, you know, it's tough to pick a number, but I just like to do, just makes my life easier. I also like to switch it up. So I'm gonna do 4 to 5 sets of push-ups. I'm gonna do a different variation of push-up every time. Probably, just to switch up. Diamond push-ups, wide grip. If I have 2 kettlebells, I might go really deep doing the push-ups on the kettlebells. Regular push-ups, whatever it is. So no actual number, I just kind of bang it out. First set. Now, I don't do to complete failure every single set, especially in the early ones, because that will brick road me, is what I call it. And there'll be a lot of drop off. So I'll get like 95%. All right, just regular push-ups for the first set. Here we go. Whew. I'm good with 35 there. Whew. Shit. Just a little more tired than I thought. I did bench press a couple days ago. All right, club each side, 10 each side. Starting with a 35-pounder. I now have a 35-pounder and a 45-pounder in the garage, so we can have a little fun with the clubs. Well, fun with them, but also give me some room to warm up because I could use it right now with these. All right, where do I want to start? I guess I'll start right here on the rows. Yeah, heavy rows were a last minute addition, but I feel like getting a little extra. And there wasn't enough heavy shit in there. I need something. Crank the weight up. I am gonna lean on my elbow, or lean my elbow on my knee, just because I do want to get a little heavy on these. Just feel like that's all. Best way to describe it. So normally I probably wouldn't, but today we're going to. Oh yeah, that's nothing. Whew, yeah. Let's get this bad boy out. All right. That's one down. Moving up to the 48 kilo for my non-Americans, 106 pounds. We'll stay here for the rest of it. And we'll see how many sets we're doing. All right, we're gonna play by ear. That's one. And yeah, we'll go from there. Stick along. All right, set number set number 3. All right, we're going up. Swings are now at 106 pounds, 48 kilos for my non-Americans. And let's do it. Whew. You know, I know I said, well, I'm still gonna show you what to do on the next set, what to do if you don't have a kettlebell that's heavy enough for you to challenge you, but this is actually a pretty good weight for 15 reps over multiple sets. You know, 15 reps by itself, it's not that challenging, but 15 reps for, 3-4 sets, gets a little tough. I'm also sore and tired. That's what Sundays are. So second set of push-ups. I did diamond push-ups. Here I'm gonna go push-ups on the kettlebells. You can do this with anything that's gonna allow you to get deep. That's what I'm going for here. is try and get a little extra stretch in the bottom of that push-up. So if you don't have kettlebells, you might be able to use dumbbells. It probably won't work that well, so it's not that high. If you have parallettes, like gymnastics parallettes, you can stack up a couple plates, something like that. So that's what I'm going for. Gonna get a nice stretch on the bottom. I like to hold for a second or two. Again, I don't care about reps right now. I'm shooting for quality reps. When I say I don't care about reps, I mean I don't care about the number. I already lost count. I think that was 4. Two. Let's get 3 more. Yeah. 1. 2. Whew. God, those suck if you're really doing it the right way. Nice deep stretch in the bottom. Good for the shoulder mobility. Good for the burn. All right. Onto the 45-pound club. Happy to add this bad boy into the garage arsenal. Because that 25-pounder just wasn't cutting it. Neither is the 35. Here we go. Whew. Oh man, that's good. So as you can probably see on that, so clubs and bases and stuff are so good for shoulder mobility. They really open you up. But as you can see, a lot of people just use light ones, which is fine if that's what you want out of them. Lighter ones, maybe a little bit more muscular endurance, a little more mobility to go light. But if you start swinging some heavy clubs and maces, as you see right there, there's so much rotation going on. It's very aggressive and violent in a good way. Movement. So you gain so much rotational strength and power. Balance in the hips. It really doesn't look like my upper body or my lower body's doing much, but there's so much balance and rotational work that goes in, and so much just like gripping of the floor of my lower body. I mean, if my foot comes up the slightest bit, my heel, my toe comes up the slightest bit on either side when I'm doing those, I'm gonna be all over the place. So they're just so good. So swing some heavy fucking clubs. Let's go. Or maces, whatever. Okay, 5 rows. I know these are not the best rows technique-wise. If anybody out there is like a slow and controlled bodybuilder type of person, that's fine. Hit my vibe. I just feel like fucking ripping some weight right now. Give you an extra one there. Here we go. Woo! On to set number 4. So let's talk about what you can do if you have a kettlebell that is not that heavy for you in terms of challenging you with weight, and you want to do swings with, and how do we make it a little bit more effective, a little bit more difficult without just doing a million reps. So we're going to do something what is called overspeed eccentrics, right? So it's super fancy, or it sounds super fancy, I should say. Basically what it means is you're going to be super explosive on the way up like you normally are, but then instead of letting the kettlebell just kind of float down, you're going to pull it down really hard. So that way you have a ton of oomph into the exercise on both parts of it, on the way up and the way down. So it's going to be just a lot quicker, a lot snappier, and you're gonna need a lot more tension, a lot more bracing to make sure that this kettlebell's not throwing you around. So it's gonna look like this. All right, so that's basically the gist of it. When the kettlebell reaches the top, instead of letting it float down, rip that thing down. It's gonna make the exercise a lot more difficult, a lot more powerful. And if you just have a kettlebell that's not really challenging you and you've got nothing heavier, that's a great way to make it just a little bit more difficult, all right? All right, this is gonna be the last set of this. I'm just gonna do 4 sets, slightly pressed on time today. And also, I did do an extra set of Turkish getups, and I'm feeling decent, so we're gonna fuck around with the sandbag. So I just talked about overspeed eccentrics, okay? I'm gonna do that with this just because it's the last set, right? Like I said, today's all about fucking around, basically. So I'm gonna switch things up just a little bit for the last set. I'm gonna do 10 reps with the overspeed eccentric, just to make it a little different and a little bit more challenging with for this last set. So let's give it a shot. This is a heavy one to do for overspeed eccentrics. So let's find out. Whew. Whew. That is powerful. Whew. I don't do those enough. You can do those with cleans is a little weird. But you can do those with snatches, you know. You can take that concept into a few different things if you don't have weights that are challenging. They are solid. They are, the one thing I will say about them, they're tough, okay? So if you're fairly new to kettlebells, then I would not recommend doing those. They're going to make exercises more challenging technique-wise. So those really are for someone who kind of has an idea of what they're doing with kettlebells and just wants to make them a little bit more challenging. The one thing I will say about them is they're kind of the thing where people who are really deep in the kettlebell world are like, oh, you can just do overspeed eccentrics and get as much power as you want out of an exercise. Where it's like, that's not really true. Like, yes, I just did overspeed eccentrics with a 106-pound kettlebell, which is awesome, and I put more effort into it. But that doesn't make this a 350-pound barbell power clean. It just doesn't, right? At the end of the day, weight tends to win, right? You can't mimic 350, 400 pounds with 100 pounds. You just need to put 350 pounds on the bar. So for those that want to be the most explosive and strongest people in the entire world, yes, I still think barbells are the way to go. I just like kettlebells the best. And I think they're the best all-around piece of equipment that there is. Because most people want to be all-around fit, and they aren't looking to be the biggest, strongest person in the entire world. So there's that. Okay, I could go on for days. Let's do the push-ups. We're gonna do plyo push-ups this time. So you push up and you come off the ground a little bit. If you have the ability to do clap push-ups, you can. It's basically like in between. It's like you push yourself off the ground, and then without clapping, you just come right back down. I'm just gonna stick with plyo push-ups because I feel like it. Here we go. Oh, wow. Whoo. It's funny with those, you just hit a brick wall. Like I was pretty fine getting to 25, and then getting to 30 was pretty freaking hard. Sorry for all the breathing in your ear. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, thank you guys for joining me today on my very first vlog workout with my new camera, which is why this might not look the best. I'm still figuring out the settings and the lighting, and I know I had some fuck up before where it was like zooming in out and it got blurry on my first set of swings or whatever. So I can say, I don't know, either way, I'm figuring it out. I appreciate you guys being patient with me and sticking along me on the ride, because believe it or not, I'm actually very technologically challenged. I'm not good at it. I'm good at Instagram, and I'm figuring out YouTube. But getting a camera was a big step for me. I was intimidated. So stay with me for a little bit until I figure this thing out. All right, we're gonna do mills now. So here, boom, and around. Okay, probably shoot for 8 on each side. Here we go. One. Oh man. Whoo! God. Making that a mill just changes the game so much. Oh, the grip. And because my grip just got smoked doing that, these are staying. It's just regular rows. We'll do 6 though, like he did last time. Okay, 4 of those. Let's mess around with the sandbag. This might be a few attempts, might be literally 1, and might have a rude wake-up call that you haven't touched this thing in a while. Who the fuck do you think you are? Let's find out. Oh. Fuck. Okay. 275. Let's see if my ass gets humbled real quick. I haven't touched a sandbag, period, in probably a few months. So what better way to get back into them than with the 275? Fuck, okay. All right, that wasn't so bad. We'll probably do a couple more of those. Oh, fuck, there it is, lightheaded. Always. Yeah. What? Oh, fuck. Oh, oh my God. Yeah, I'll be done in like 3 minutes. Uh-oh. It is my nephew's first birthday today, or first birthday party, and my wife made this really awesome balloon arrangement, and exactly like she was afraid, some of the balloons shrunk overnight. She made it yesterday, so we're off to a good start today. Here we go. Oh shit, nope, 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 nope. Oh, you suck. Let's try that again. We'll do one more. Let's bang this one out. Let's get done with this. This bag's a little too floppy. Not Tom DeJulie approved. Sorry, Tom, if you happen to be watching this. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck that thing. All right, guys, that is a wrap. That's all I got for you today. Welcome to Sunday garage mashups. They're always a fun day. Just kind of mixing it up, all right? So I appreciate you guys sticking around. Really means a lot. If you have any questions after watching this video, don't hesitate to drop a comment in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. And if you are interested in doing workouts with kettlebells and body weight that are going to improve your functional strength, conditioning, and mobility, please go ahead and click the link in the description to get 75% off your first 4 weeks of training, right? All you need is 40 minutes a day, 4 times a week, And the best part is you can do them all at home, all right? So thank you guys for sticking around. I'll see you next time.